So Voyagers, here's your craft. It's a WWJD friendship bracelet. Jesus is our friend, and when we follow him, it means we follow his example. So remembering what would Jesus do, WWJD, is always handy in life to remember that. When things come up, think about what would Jesus do in that situation and follow his example. Okay, to make this, you're going to need some cords. I've got them in different colours, and some masking tape and scissors. And then for the beads, some magazines. I'm just using this carton as a drying rack to dry the beads on, and some skewers to roll the beads on, and some glue. Now, this glue is an X glue. It is no more. So I'm going to either use PVA glue, which I've got a little bit of in a tub, or I'm going to make some glue, and I'm going to show you how to do that first. So let's clear all this out of the way. We're making these beads, and we need the glue for these beads with the initials on. So when we make the glue, I'm going to make it out of flour and water. So I've got some flour, and just put a little bit in a pot. So just a little bit of flour, and then add some water. I've got warm water, some water, and give it a stir with the stick. Get rid of the lumps. And that will make a glue, and you can use that brushing it on, as I'm going to do in a moment. Right, let's prepare our beads. So first of all, you look through the magazine to find your letters. So I'm going to need a J, so I'm going to cut that one out. So you're going to need a D and a WW, about the same size, I suggest. So I'm going to do that now, cut those out. So I've got my WWJD cut out. Now I need to cut out the page, find a page that I need for the colour of my bead. And I like that colour. Now it doesn't have to be over the whole page, it just has to be over the end bit. But you do need a long strip cut out. I'll show you. I've cut out a long strip to make my bead. This is going to be the centre of the bead, and then this bit's just going to show the colour at the end. So we now need to glue that up. So that's the colour. So I'm going to turn it over this way. Now at this end, I'm going to leave a little gap so my stick doesn't get stuck. I'm going to get my flour and water paste and just colour all over right to the end. It is important, even though you leave this end free of glue, it is important that you get glue on the other end, all the way up to the other end. And then when you've done that, you get your stick, and you can roll it in this end so it doesn't stick to this end, but then it will start to stick once it gets into the glue. Keep it tight and roll it all the way along, keeping it tight and rolling all the way down to the end. So I'm getting to the end there, and that's just going to make my bead there with my colour on. Now if it's not quite straight, just push it, that's fine. And then I'm going to put some more glue on the top of that, and stick the WW. For this bit, if you have got PVA glue, it is good to use WJ. Oh, it's quite tricky, fiddly. And then you get your drying rack, put that on, and leave that till the morning till dry. There, I'll maybe smooth some of this off. Now I've got some I did earlier. I did this in flour and water paste, It's not, won't be as shiny as yours. I did mine in a magazine, glossy magazine, but I made this out of a newspapery type print, so it's a bit duller. But I've got my WWJD there, ready to make our bracelet. You need the 3 cords. You need to pull see about twice the length of your hand, I would say, and cut that off. Cut 3 that length. I've cut the 3 lengths, and I'm getting some masking tape. Oh, before I get the masking tape, I forgot. Let's tie these 3 of them together at the end, and I'm going to do that. Put the 3 together, wrap it around your finger. So you've got a hoop. Tuck the ends through that hoop and pull just to make a knot. And once you've got your knot, stick it onto the table with some masking tape, just so the knot is below the masking tape, just there. And now we're going to just plait these 3, and I'm going to show you how to do a plait. So what you do is you take one on the outside and put it in the middle, and then take the one on the other outside and put that in the middle, and then take the one that's now on the other outside in the middle, and the other one on the outside in the middle. And as you can see, they all have their turn of being on the outside, and they all have their turn of being in the middle. So you continue with this until it's plaited all the way down. So we're just finishing that off now, still taking the outside to the middle, outside one to the middle. Then when you're almost at the end, hold those, and then you can take your masking tape off, and then you're just going to knot this end. I'm going to do that by wrapping it around my finger, and then so the snake goes over its tail, I've said before, and then the snake's head goes through the cave, and then you pull that. You've got your friendship bracelet. Now you need to put our beads on in order. So I'm going to thread these up, and because you've only put 1 knot, it does go over the knot. So push that through. Oh, it doesn't want to come out, so come on then. Here we go. So it goes through there. So put all 4 beads on, threaded them, make sure they're in the right order. What would Jesus, make sure that D's the right way up, or does it look like a P? What would Jesus do? Now you need a friend, or your mum or dad, to tie that onto your wrist. I'm going to get my daughter. So she's tied that on now with a knot. So I've got 2 what would Jesus do bracelets to remind me to follow Jesus. You don't have to do these initials. You can maybe do one with your name on, or with Jesus's name on. I wonder what you're going to put on your bracelet this week. Enjoy.